The Echo of Prosperity. In the quaint town of Verdant Grove, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lived a humble farmer named Kelvin. He was known not only for his bountiful crops but also for his remarkable habit of talking to himself. While others might have found it odd, Kelvin's self-conversations were filled with wisdom, positivity, and ambition. Every morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, Kelvin would walk through his fields, speaking words of encouragement and vision. "Today will be a day of growth," he'd say, patting the soil. "These seeds will sprout into a harvest of plenty." Years ago, Kelvin had read about the power of words and the impact they could have on one's life. He decided to experiment by speaking affirmations, not just to himself but also to his plants, his animals, and even the tools he used. "You're strong and reliable," he'd say to his plow. "Together, we'll till the best fields in the county." At first, the townsfolk chuckled at Kelvin's peculiar practice. But as time passed, they couldn't ignore the results. Kelvin's farm flourished beyond anyone's expectations. His vegetables were the juiciest, his grains the heartiest, and his flowers the most vibrant. The once skeptical villagers began to wonder if there was something magical in Kelvin's words. One crisp autumn evening, during the annual harvest festival, the mayor approached Kelvin. "Kelvin," he began, "what's your secret? How do you manage to achieve such extraordinary yields year after year?" Kelvin smiled and invited the mayor to walk with him. As they strolled through the fields, he explained, "It's simple, really. I talk to myself and my surroundings with positivity and purpose. Words have energy, and when you speak with intention, you attract what you desire. I envision success, and I verbalize it." Skeptical yet intrigued, the mayor asked, "Do you truly believe that talking to yourself has made you wealthy?" Kelvin nodded. "Wealth isn't just about money, my friend. It's about abundance in all areas of life. By affirming my goals and expressing gratitude, I've cultivated a life of prosperity and joy. My farm thrives because I nurture it with positive energy." Inspired, the mayor shared Kelvin's philosophy with the entire town. Soon, the practice of talking to oneself with intention spread like wildfire. People began to notice subtle changes in their lives. Businesses flourished, relationships deepened, and the town of Verdant Grove became a beacon of positivity and prosperity. Years later, as Kelvin looked out over his thriving fields, he knew that the true wealth he had accumulated was not just in the fruits of his labor but in the echo of his words that had transformed an entire community. And so, the legend of Kelvin, the farmer who spoke his dreams into reality, lived on as a testament to the power of self-belief and the magic of words. The Whispering Willow. In the bustling city of Crestwood, amidst the clamor of everyday life, there stood an old library known as the Whispering Willow. It was named after the majestic willow tree that grew in its courtyard, a tree that seemed to sway and whisper secrets to those who listened closely. The library was a haven of knowledge, and among its patrons was a young woman named Emma. Emma was a dreamer, an aspiring writer who often found solace in the quiet corners of the Whispering Willow. One rainy afternoon, as she perused the shelves, she stumbled upon an ancient, weathered book titled "Talk to Yourself, Let Your Words Bring You Wealth" by Kelvin. Intrigued, she opened the book and began to read. The book spoke of the power of self-talk, the magic of affirmations, and the importance of believing in one's words. It resonated deeply with Emma, who had always struggled with self-doubt and negative thoughts. Inspired, she decided to embark on a personal experiment. Every morning, Emma stood before her mirror and spoke words of encouragement to herself. "I am a talented writer. My words have the power to inspire and change lives," she would say with conviction. Throughout the day, she would remind herself of these affirmations, letting them guide her thoughts and actions. At first, it felt awkward and unnatural, but gradually, Emma noticed a shift. Her writing flowed more effortlessly, her ideas blossomed, and her confidence grew. She began to submit her stories to various magazines and contests, something she had always been too afraid to do. One day, Emma received an email from a prestigious literary magazine. Her story had been accepted for publication, and they wanted to feature it in their upcoming issue. Overwhelmed with joy, she realized that her words of affirmation had not only changed her mindset but had also manifested her dreams into reality. Encouraged by her success, Emma continued to practice positive self-talk. She would visit the Whispering Willow, finding inspiration in its tranquil ambience and the wise old willow tree. She often imagined the tree whispering words of encouragement, further reinforcing her belief in the power of words. As months turned into years, Emma's writing career flourished. She published her first novel, which became a bestseller, and she was invited to speak at literary events and workshops. She always shared her story, crediting her success to the lessons she learned from Kelvin's book. The Whispering Willow became a symbol of her journey, a place where she had discovered the magic of self-belief. And as Emma stood beneath the swaying branches of the willow tree, she whispered a heartfelt thank you to the universe, knowing that her words had indeed brought her wealth of both in her career and in her heart. The music of manifestation. In the serene village of Harmonia, music was more than just an art form, it was a way of life. Every resident played an instrument, and their harmonious melodies filled the air, creating an atmosphere of peace and unity. Among the villagers was a young musician named Leo, known for his skill with the violin. Leo was passionate about music, but he struggled with self-doubt. Despite his talent, he felt that his dreams of becoming a renowned composer were out of reach. One evening, as he wandered through the village square, he heard an old man playing a hauntingly beautiful melody on a flute. Mesmerized, Leo approached him. The old man introduced himself as Kelvin, a traveler who had journeyed through many lands, learning the secrets of life and success. Seeing the potential in Leo, Kelvin shared a simple yet profound piece of advice: talk to yourself, Leo. Let your words guide your path and bring you the wealth you seek. Inspired, Leo began to incorporate positive affirmations into his daily routine. Every morning, he would stand by the village fountain, where the sound of trickling water created a soothing backdrop, and speak to himself. I am a gifted composer. My music will touch hearts and souls, he declared with confidence. As days turned into weeks, Leo noticed a transformation. His compositions became more intricate and emotive, reflecting his newfound belief in himself. He began to perform his original pieces at village gatherings, and the response was overwhelming. The villagers were moved by his music, and word of his talent spread beyond Harmonia. One day, a renowned conductor visiting the village heard Leo play and was captivated by his compositions. He invited Leo to perform with a prestigious orchestra in the city. Overjoyed, Leo accepted the offer, realizing that his words had indeed brought him the opportunity he had longed for. In the city, Leo's performances received rave reviews, and he quickly gained recognition as a brilliant composer. He continued to practice positive self-talk, reminding himself of his worth and potential. His success grew, and he was able to share his music with audiences around the world. Years later, Leo returned to Harmonia, now a celebrated composer. He found Kelvin by the village fountain, still playing his flute. With gratitude, Leo thanked him for the life-changing advice. Kelvin smiled and replied, "Remember, Leo, the true wealth lies not just in your achievements, but in the belief and joy you find in your journey." Leo nodded, understanding the wisdom in Kelvin's words. As he stood by the fountain, he played a new melody on his violin, a composition that resonated with the power of self-belief and the magic of words. The village of Harmonia listened, their hearts filled with the music of manifestation. The painter's palette. In the vibrant city of Artezia, where creativity flourished in every corner, lived a talented young painter named Mia. Mia had a gift for capturing emotions on canvas, but she often doubted her ability to succeed in the competitive art world. One day, while browsing through a local bookstore, she discovered a worn-out book titled Talk to Yourself, Let Your Words Bring You Wealth by Kelvin W. Nathan. Intrigued by the title, Mia delved into the book's pages. It spoke of the power of positive affirmations and the impact they could have on one's artistic journey. Inspired, Mia decided to incorporate affirmations into her daily routine. Every morning, before picking up her paintbrush, she stood before her easel and spoke aloud, "I am a skilled artist. My paintings evoke beauty and emotions." At first, Mia felt self-conscious, but she persisted. She began to notice a shift in her work. Her colors became more vibrant, her compositions more dynamic. Encouraged by this progress, she started submitting her paintings to local galleries and exhibitions, something she had never dared to do before. To her surprise, Mia's paintings were well received. Art enthusiasts praised her unique style and the depth of emotion in her artwork. She was soon invited to showcase her paintings in a prestigious art gallery downtown. Mia's confidence soared as she realized that her words of affirmation had transformed her doubts into belief and her dreams into reality. As Mia stood beside her paintings at the gallery opening, surrounded by fellow artists and art enthusiasts, she couldn't help but reflect on her journey. The whispers of doubt that once plagued her mind had been replaced by the powerful echo of her own words, the words that had brought her wealth not just in recognition and success but in the fulfillment of her passion for painting. The Innovator's Insight. In the bustling metropolis of Technopolis, where innovation was the heartbeat of progress, lived a young engineer named Adam. Adam was known for his brilliant mind and inventive spirit, but he often struggled with self-doubt when it came to pursuing his ambitious ideas. One day, while browsing through a bookstore specializing in technology and entrepreneurship, he came across a book titled Talk to Yourself, Let Your Words Bring You Wealth by Kelvin W. Nathan. Intrigued by the book's premise, Adam decided to explore its teachings. He learned about the transformative power of self-talk and the importance of believing in one's ideas. Inspired, Adam began to practice positive affirmations daily. Before entering his workshop each morning, he would stand at the doorway and declare, "I am an innovative thinker. My ideas will revolutionize technology." With each affirmation, Adam felt a renewed sense of confidence. He started experimenting with new designs and concepts, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. His inventions began to gain attention within the tech community, and soon, investors were interested in funding his projects. One of Adam's inventions saw a breakthrough in renewable energy technology that caught the eye of a prominent research institute. They offered him a partnership to further develop his innovation on a global scale. Adam's dream of making a significant. The artisan's legacy. In the quaint town of Everwood, nestled deep within a forest of ancient trees, lived a skilled artisan named Evelyn. She was renowned for her exquisite wood carvings, each piece telling a story of craftsmanship and passion. Despite her talent, Evelyn often struggled with self-doubt, unsure if her creations would ever be truly appreciated beyond the boundaries of her small town. One day, while browsing through the dusty shelves of the town's library, Evelyn stumbled upon a weathered book titled Talk to Yourself, Let Your Words Bring You Wealth by Kelvin W. Nathan. Intrigued by the title, she began to read, discovering Kelvin's teachings on the power of positive self-talk and the impact of belief in one's abilities. Inspired, Evelyn decided to apply Kelvin's principles to her craft. Every morning, before starting work in her workshop, she stood before a mirror adorned with carved symbols of inspiration and spoke aloud, "I am a talented artisan. My creations bring beauty and joy to those who behold them." As she carved intricate designs into blocks of wood, Evelyn infused each stroke with intention and affirmation. She imagined her pieces gracing the halls of grand galleries and homes of appreciative collectors. With each completed sculpture, she whispered words of gratitude to herself and to the universe, believing in the path she was forging. Months passed, and Evelyn's wood carvings began to garner attention far beyond Everwood. Visitors traveled from neighboring towns to admire her work, and soon, art enthusiasts from the city took notice. A prestigious art gallery invited Evelyn to showcase her collection, praising the depth and soulfulness of her creations. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Evelyn realized that her words had indeed brought her wealth, and not just in recognition and opportunities but also in a newfound sense of confidence and purpose. She continued to practice positive self-talk, knowing that it was the foundation upon which she built her artistic legacy in Everwood and beyond. The Adventurer's Quest. Far across the rolling hills and endless seas, in the bustling port town of Crest Haven, lived a young adventurer named Lucas. He dreamed of exploring distant lands, uncovering ancient treasures, and writing tales of his daring escapades. However, Lucas often found himself held back by fear of the unknown and uncertainty about his own capabilities. One day, while browsing through a dusty bookstore on the harbor's edge, Lucas stumbled upon a worn leather-bound volume titled Talk to Yourself, Let Your Words Bring You Wealth by Kelvin W. Nathan. Intrigued by the promise of wealth beyond gold and gems, Lucas eagerly delved into Kelvin's teachings. The book spoke of the transformative power of positive self-talk and the belief in one's dreams. Inspired, Lucas began to incorporate affirmations into his daily routine. Each morning, as he prepared his gear for another voyage, he stood on the deck of his ship, gazing out at the horizon, and declared aloud, "I am a fearless adventurer. I embrace the challenges that await me." With each new journey, Lucas faced daunting challenges from treacherous storms to encounters with mythical creatures. Yet, he remained steadfast in his belief, whispering words of courage and determination to himself. He trusted in his skills as a navigator and a storyteller, knowing that every trial was a step closer to fulfilling his destiny. Years passed, and Lucas's adventures became legendary tales recounted in ports and taverns across the seas. He discovered forgotten ruins, recovered lost artifacts, and befriended allies from distant lands. His name echoed through the annals of history as a bold explorer who dared to chase his dreams. As Lucas returned to Crest Haven after yet another successful expedition, he reflected on the lessons learned from Kelvin's book. The wealth he had gained was not just in the treasures he had unearthed but in the courage and resilience he had cultivated within himself. With a heart full of gratitude, Lucas knew that his words had indeed brought him wealth, the wealth of a life lived with passion and purpose.